Good morning. It's 4 a.m. here, and I'm showing up early because this is the journey we're on. The crypto space, financial freedom, long-term vision. It doesn't sleep. I'm not here as some self-declared guru. I'm just someone walking this path alongside you, learning, testing, and guiding where I can. If you feel like you've missed out on Bitcoin, you haven't. It's not too late. It's just time to get educated. So for me, I have a fortunate story. How I got started in Bitcoin was back in 2017, 2018. I was training a client who was a really good business person, and he encouraged me. He said, "Mark, you should buy at least one Bitcoin." And that was back when Bitcoin was under 10,000. But at that time, it took me even months, but I finally accomplished it. And I'm so grateful that he suggested that to me. And since then, I've always been on a study to learn more about this. One thing that really got me motivated to learn about Bitcoin and learn how to track it and trade it and watch it and all that stuff is, just in my nature is I have a nature to just sort of to try to get the most value out of like a dollar. I have my uncle, he used to say our family can really squeeze a dollar. And what he means by that is just to get the most value out of each dollar. And so I knew even then, but I didn't really know how to do it. But there's times when you can buy at a better price, and there's times when it's probably not wise to buy at that price. I wanted to figure out when to get the best prices. That was what really got me into studying Bitcoin, because it does move a lot. Even if you look at over the last 2 weeks, this is the last 2 weeks right here. And just to kind of give you a basic, if you are new, these are called candles. Each one of these things are called candles. And you have green ones, red ones. The green ones, when it goes up, the red ones are when it goes down. Each of these candles represent 4-hour time frame. Now, when you're on a chart, and you would have access to these if you were, this is another reason I'm doing this, is because I've partnered with the Academy that has amazing tools and educators and all that. But you can come over here if you have access to the system, you click the drop-down menu and you pick the time frame you want to look at. I've personally been following the 4-hour time frame, and I follow them all. But for my what's called swing trading, I really favor the 4-hour as my go-to. So you can see back here, even in 2 weeks ago, the price was 94,000. And then about a week later, it was 97,000. And then about a few days later, it's 94,000. And then a few days later, it's 97,000, right? So just for round numbers, would you rather buy at 97,000? Or would you rather buy at 94,000? $94, you're saving $3,000, right? So what I have learned is, and what my goal is, and some things are simple, but they're not easy, so I feel like it's simple to buy what we call buy at support. So see the blue box, that's where I like to buy. That's what, for my long-term Bitcoin, I like to buy in the blue, right? That's support. So it makes sense. Buy at 94, and it's a long-term hold for me in this case, but I'd rather buy it at 94,000 than 97,000. It's just obvious, right? So the red box is the resistance. Now, some people do what's called swing trading, which means, but you just trade, like, for example, you could buy here at 94,000 in the support, sell in the red 97,000, That's a $3,000 profit. You're in, you're out. Beautiful. Does that make sense? That is what will be a classic swing trade, I feel. But I want to step back and look at the longer term picture. For me, long term, I feel like I'm looking down the road, and it depends on what your perspective is. For me, long term is 5, 10, 20 years from now is what I'm looking at currently. I'm 56 years old, so 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, I'm visualizing my goals, and this is part of it, right? So what do I feel is going to happen or speculate is going to happen between now and the next 5, 10, 20 years? Well, some of the educators I've listened to has said that Bitcoin will likely improve will grow 30 to 60% every year over year for the next 5 to 10 years. That's huge. So for example, if you have even a high interest savings account and you have 4%, that's 4%, right? But now if you can save your money, and that's what a lot of people are doing, is we're saving this is like it's our savings accounts. We're saving into this, that it will ideally grow 30% to 60% year over year. A couple other things I look at long term for you to consider. Do your own research. This is not financial advice, but to consider the power of the Roth IRA, ROTH IRA. This is for people that live in America. I don't know the other countries' policies, but if you live in the USA, we have a Roth, ROTH IRA. You can do a personal Roth, and if you have a business, you can do a solo 401k Roth. The personal Roth, you can save the beauty of it is that you're saving your money into the Roth. It's money that's already had taxes paid on it. So you take your money from your job or business, pay your taxes, what you have left over, right? Now you have your money left over. Say you save that into a Roth. When you just say for round numbers, you save $100,000 into a Roth. And then say you wait 10 years, say it goes to $1 million. Just say, for example, when you take that $1 million out or part of it later, the beauty of it is your income tax will be zero, no income tax, because it was funded with after-tax dollars. That's huge. So when I was setting up mine, I had a lot of people question me like, what tax bracket you think you're going to be in 5, 10, 20 years from now? Well, I don't care if I'm in a 20% tax bracket or if I'm in a 40% tax bracket. I'd rather be in a 0% tax bracket. That's the beauty of That's the beauty of a Roth IRA and a solo 401k Roth. Not financial advice, but things to consider. It's a highly recommended for some good educators. Just to hit on some key points of what's happening this week, what's got me feeling so bullish about Bitcoin is, we're hovering right now over 97,000. I would prefer not to buy at that level. I'd rather buy in the blue. But the thing is in the next week, we're going to see what happens. But in the next week, we could go up to, it could go up to it could shoot up here, and up to this next level. See, it goes level to level. That's the thing. So I'm just going to see where we're at right here. This is the 4-hour time frame, right? Now I'm just going to zoom out just a little to show you how many levels, what's actually going on. There's so many levels, and it goes level to level, right? Look. So here we are right here in this level. But look at the big picture. We have this level, an 85. Will we go back down to that? It's very possible. And I hope so, because would you rather buy at 85,000 or 95,000? Of course, 85,000. But we could go on up to the next level, 104,000. So One simple strategy, I'm going to zoom back in. One simple strategy that I've learned is to dollar cost average, because it really is hard to speculate the best times to buy. But if you bought some every day, say if you bought $100 a day every day, you're stacking sats. You're buying at 96, you're buying at 90, you're buying at 85, you're buying at 98, you're buying it at 78, you're buying it at 105. Eventually, it's going to go up, hopefully, to well up over $1 million. So if you buy at 90,000 or 80,000 or 70,000, I don't think you're going to feel the difference when Bitcoin is up over 1 million. Not financial advice. Another thing to consider is the ETFs, like the big companies like BlackRock and all these. They have Bitcoin ETFs that the big financial companies are involved with. What's called the inflows, money coming in. People like me and you that are educated about Bitcoin are inflowing their money strong, showing institutions are accumulating. So that's the thing right now. There is I feel a lot of accumulation, people buying, stacking. And the beauty of it is Bitcoin has a finite supply. There's only so much Bitcoin. So when you have a limited supply and a high demand, what do you think is going to happen? Just to share with you a little bit about scalp trading. Sometimes I scalp if it's in the right opportunity. But this is a tool we have by the Academy called Swipe Coin. This is a line chart on the 15-minute time frame. Say you are tracking along this and you are in the Academy. Zooming in. So you're trading. You want to catch a day trade. So you're watching this chart. You're watching it now. The system gives us this level and gives us this level. And what they're saying is if it breaks above or breaks below and stays there, closes, it's a good chance it's going to directionally go that way, either go down or go up. Right? But right here, if you knew how to read the system, you would have gotten in this trade right here. Let's see here. You would have got in this trade right here. See, this is a call that the system gave us, right? So you would have put your buy down at 95, right? And you'd have done like most of us. See, at 95, that's where the buy was. See, right there. Also, I'm using both tools. It was at 95, right at the top of the support. You can tell we're getting a breakout. And look at this. It goes to 97. So, wow, that was a beautiful, beautiful trade. Now we're going sideways again. So see that? You could have got in here because it gave us this call here. It's just calling out a zone. It's not financial advice. It's just sharing the levels, right? And yes, I took profits right around 97 to 200. What you can see is right at the top of, I was watching it on the 4-hour time frame. This was a big green candle. It was going up to about here, right there. And then I took profits, and I'm still in this trade. Not financial advice, but the resistance is when to sell. So I sold some right here. I bought here and sold here. And thanks to the system, it really helped me to navigate this. Here's why I show up daily, not to predict the market, but to help people stop being afraid of it. That's why I partner with the IOVIA Academy, because we don't just hype coins, we teach people how to think like investors. We have an easy 1, 2, 3 system, 1 pre-recorded videos, get you caught up to speed at your own pace, 2, live educators, 60 plus educators. We have trade ideas, ask questions, get clarity. And 3, we have AI-driven tools like Levels and Swipecoin to assist us to navigate the market smarter. This is not financial advice, it's financial education, and it's changed my life. If you're curious about how I'm learning and growing in this space, just message me the word crypto and I'll send you the info. No pressure, just tools and support if you're ready to level up. If this helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same focus. And remember this, health is wealth, cash flow is king, cash is queen, and credit is freedom. I'll say it one more time. Health is wealth, cash flow is king, cash is queen, and credit is freedom. Be blessed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.